Why do human beings develop diabetes? Why do we have diabetes? Why does our body develop in a way that's going to kill us? Why does our body develop in such a way that is actually harmful to us? And that's because we are the product of millions of years of evolution. Human beings are an ancient species. We've been around for millions of years. We've evolved over time. Came out of the water as liquid. We developed these basic cells. We developed atoms. We developed protons and developed all of these different complex structures over time. And then eventually we became what we are today after millions and millions of years. But some of our original programming is still within us. Back in the days, millions of years ago, before human beings were intelligent, before human beings could control their environment, before human beings were a thinking species, we were just like any other animal out there in the wild trying to survive. Sometimes we wouldn't have food because we didn't have vehicles. We had to walk around everywhere. We lived in caves. And diabetes was a good thing because sometimes you might go 2-3 months without food. The buffalo might not be roaming because it's freezing cold. The animals might be hibernating, or there just aren't any animals in the area that you're in. And since you're walking on foot, you've got a long way to go to get to the animals. So you might go months without food. And diabetes protected you from hunger. It prevented you from dying. Diabetes was a great thing because it prevented you from starving to death. It was an evolutionary form of programming that helped our ancestors survive. But fast forward now, we have access to food. We don't need diabetes as protection from starvation because most of the time we can get food easily, with or without money. And there's a lesson in that. Diabetes isn't the only evolutionary trait that's with us that we don't need anymore. Violence, tribalism, hatred, all of these different things that we don't need today, but were necessary yesterday for our ancestors to survive, you know, they're still with us. Those same genes are still with us, you know, and we don't need them anymore, but our ancestors needed them in order to survive, in order to not die. They needed hatred. They needed violence to protect themselves from the other Homo sapiens. Because you remember, there was a point in time when there were various different kinds of humans. There wasn't just human beings. You know, you had different types. You know, you had Neanderthals. You had so many different types of human beings. Eventually, they all disappeared and became one type of human. You know, they mated with each other and they became one. But there was a point in time when there were different types of human beings. And there were wars between those ancient human beings. So you needed tribalism, violence, hatred to survive. But we don't need it anymore because there's only one kind of human being, and we're all the same. We're all the same type of human being, you know. But those traits are still with us. So basically what I'm trying to say is you have to work at overcoming your nature. There's a reason why they say your worst enemy is yourself, your nature. You can overcome your nature. When you get that sensation to get angry, somebody says something that pisses you off, and you get that sensation to say something, you can think and say, I'm so angry, I want to respond, but I'm not going to do it. Because now we have that ability to think. So even when the nature arises, our thinking can counteract that. And that's the beautiful thing about being a human being. We are not slaves to our instinct. We're not slaves to our nature. Because we have a brain, we have consciousness, we can think. And we can think our way out of our instincts. Peace.